Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of FSI's NASCAR DFS Picks Preview. We have the O'Reilly Auto Parts 253 at Daytona Road Course. We are recording this before the Xfinity race, so any information about some of the drivers that are driving in the Xfinity race, we don't know how they did and how they fared heading into the Cup race. This is 70 laps. This is your guy here, TK Nation 47 on Twitter. That is Andrew Berry, Mega Ruler 31. Andrew, good morning, and are you excited for the weekend ahead?
Yeah, a truck race last night was pretty exciting at times and pretty tilting at the end, where like it should have ended and lost a couple $100 there, but still made out pretty well. Had some profits, so looking forward to Xfinity today and then this Cup race tomorrow.
Absolutely. Cup race should be a doozy. 70 laps. That's a long time around this track. Are we thinking about changing our strategy with the longer or with the extended period of laps as different from the truck race where there was only 44? This Xfinity race is only 52. Is there more opportunity to dominate this race?
I think there definitely is. It's going to be a very interesting race on so many different layers because you have the talent pool up here is much different. You've got guys that can do much better. You've got guys that have ran it in the Clash before, so they have kind of a preview of it, although they made a couple of changes and adjustments since then. And also, like we said in the truck video, this is not really a road course. When you think of road courses, I think Watkins Glen and I think of Sonoma. And the trouble is they can't run on those courses because those are two most restrictive states right now in California and New York. So they had to do something. And if you watch the truck video, I equated it as me going out and creating a water park for my kids in the backyard. It's still fun for them, but there's some of them, like if you have older kids, they're going to be like, this is not a water park. This is not a road course. And I'm just going to come out here and I'm just going to do my thing. And like, they're looking forward to the 1.5 mile tracks that are coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This road course, it's fun, but at the same time, I don't know. It's not like Sonoma. That's my favorite, and I really hope that they come back to Sonoma. And I think with the 70 laps, there's more of an opportunity for some of your better drivers in the circuit to have some dominator points, some lead lap points, and some fastest lap points as well. But let's get into some picks. We should just start right off the hop. Let's just talk Chase. Let's see what we're going to do with our pole sitter. He is the defending champ of this race. He was reckoned with Blaney at the end of the Clash. He is going to be widely owned, and I feel he should definitely be in our lineups come Sunday. What do you think?
I agree, and I've looked at a couple builds, and I think that what I'm going to do is it might go like stars and scrubs here. I think there's about 3 10K guys that I might try to put in my lineup. And then there's some other guys that are lower priced that I can fit in, and then one mid-range guy. And that's kind of how I'm looking to build. So definitely Chase is somebody that I think you really need to have as kind of like the block because he's going to be so highly owned. He wants to run this track. He wants to do well here, and he has the know-how to be successful.
Absolutely. And he's going to see this as an opportunity to get into that playoff early, lock up his bid and not have to worry about that, racing into the chase throughout the year if he can get his win early on a road course. Like you said, this is a race he wants to win. He wants to race. So I feel like you just have to block with Chase Elliott, equal yourself to the field and ownership. He'll probably be around 40%. 35-40% ownership in most contests. So Chase Elliott, definitely the cream of the crop on road courses. 5 wins in his last 8 races, 6 top 10s, just utter dominance. So you had to get that out of the way, but there's going to be other points where we want to talk about in cash lineups. Where are you leaning in your cash builds?
I'm going to start with Truex. He's starting 19th, and if you watch your other videos, we talked about kind of balancing place differential with the ability to get up front and to finish well here. and he's 19th, which is a little bit ahead of the 24, 25 curve that we kind of look for. However, he's very good at road courses. Last year, he probably could have won and swept all of them, but he just continued to have bad luck, whether it be like bad pit strategy or, running over something or speeding down pit road, just like little things like that that kind of shot him in the foot. But the beauty of it is every time he got set back or had to start at the back of the field, he made his way up rather quickly. So I
Yeah,
think if he keeps it clean and keeps things together and they learn from their mistakes, I think he definitely could finish up in the top 5.
I couldn't agree more on Truex. His numbers just as good as Chase's when it comes to road courses. I think they've won, besides the Clash, I think Truex and Chase have won the last 7 road course races.
Pretty
Yeah,
close, yeah.
right. Yep. But let's talk about another guy that was racing at the top with Chase come Clash time, and that was Ryan Blaney. What are your thoughts on Ryan Blaney this week?
Definitely like him in cash also. So, he's that's probably the third 10K guy that I try to put all together with those three. He's starting in the 27th position because it's based on their finishes at Daytona. Had some bad luck there, and if he had like a couple more laps, he probably maybe even some better tires. He probably could have gotten to chasing the Clash, but he's definitely one that wants to get up there and wants to run this race and do well. So these guys with desire are the ones that I really like.
Absolutely. Chase is, or sorry, excuse me. Blaney is slowly becoming one of my favorite drivers on the circuit. Since Dale Jr. left, I've had to adopt my fandom towards a driver, and Blaney having some Ohio roots. I'm kind of leaning towards Ryan Blaney, and plus he's got like this, Jedi Star Wars flocky hair kind of thing going on. He's like a Luke Skywalker kind of personality. So I dig it.
Yeah. The only thing he needs to watch out for is his teammates sometimes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Logano and Keselowski still have not talked about the last lap at Daytona. That's shocking to me. I don't know. That's going to trickle into some other events. That's going to come up again down the road. And
Keselowski's in a contract year, I believe, too. So I mean,
yeah,
you might see somebody else, and you're going to see Cindric in that car
I
next year, probably.
this right. This is interesting, but we alluded to it in the cup race for Daytona, the first video of the year. We were talking about how Keselowski's in a cup or in a contract year, and how Cindric is making his way to the Penske's cup rotation. I think we're kind of seeing some blood in the water here for Mr. Keselowski. He might be on a different team next year.
Yeah.
Wow, it's cool to see unfolding.
Yep.
Okay, but let's get into some more picks here. Some GPP strategy. As you alluded to when you were talking about Truex, we kind of need that combination of point differential and finishing position. Give me another couple drivers here that you feel could do just that.
Well, for salary relief, a mid-range guy like is Eric Jones. He's starting down at 37th, and he's in the petty car, which I mean didn't do great last year here with Bubba, but Jones is a decent road racer, and definitely think if he can crawl up into like the top 15, definitely the place differentials there. So I definitely think that he could score 40, 50 DK points and help you get those three guys in up the top.
Absolutely, yeah. Eric Jones and racing for Richard Petty this year. He did have 3 top 5s in his last 8 races. Yeah, I think he's a good pick. What about someone like Alex Bowman starting 9K, or starting 9K? Salary is 9K. He is starting in the back as well. Right next to that Eric Jones car is Alex Bowman, and maybe someone like him, a decent play for GPPs.
Yeah, I definitely GPPs. I don't feel good with him in cash, even though he's starting way far back. Some of the Hendrick cars, they seem to play for like stage points more in these road course races than trying to actually win it. So that sometimes can shuffle them to the back of the line starting stages, and it's harder to make your way back up.
I would agree. What we saw in that truck race was, everyone was flocking to place differential. So they're playing guys in the back of the 30s, thinking, that extra 20 positions into the top 15 would be enough. But what we, I guess, failed to see was the ability for the top, 15s to get into the top fives, and that's those extra finishing position points made the difference in that truck race. And I think if Bowman's not going to finish inside the top 10, it's not something I think can pay off a 9K salary. Certainly, definitely going to have him some GPPs as far as like a MME type of format. But let's talk about some value plays. Is there anyone under 7K that you're looking towards finishing out some lineups?
7K, let's see here. Well, one really like off the wall guy, if you want some GPP, you want some real salary relief, is looking at Scott Hackard. Everybody's probably like, who the heck is Hackard? He primarily is a road course ringer, mostly in Xfinity. In 8 road course races, he's averaged like a 24th finish, which isn't great. But when you're starting like 29th, if you at almost mid-salary, if you get a couple place differential points, you finish the race, which he's finished 7 out of 8 of them, which is a very good percentage. That definitely can help you get some of these higher price drivers in. Another wild card out there too is Josh Blicky starting 23rd. He actually his side hustle is to teach people how to drive on road course racing.
Nice.
So, I don't see him as a huge priority, but he's definitely, he might lose a few spots, but again, at like 49 in a GPP, if you're trying to put some of these higher place dominator guys in, definitely can help you with some salary relief. I'd avoid like Justin Haley and Cody Ware. I know they're kind of cheaper. Quinn Huff, not really feeling him, but if you look down at the bottom of things too, like Ty Dillon, I definitely could see at 56. Davidson and Hill, not too sure about their equipment. Hill's run every single race this weekend. So, I mean, he's definitely seen the course and stuff. So in GPP, I can see that. 40th, you can't lose you any place differential points. But again, like, will the equipment hold up? And that's something that we talked about in the Xfinity video, is we saw like a lot of, now when you get to the Cup Series, like the equipment is much better than in like Xfinity and in the trucks, where they don't have the money, or maybe they have one truck and they don't have the resources. Some of them are like buying seconds and thirds from like other different teams. And we saw some mechanical failures with like batteries losing power and like parts falling off, things like that.
Right. I think Timmy Hill, he could be a decent play this week. He finished really high in that truck race. Let's shift our focus here to some guys I think are going to be really strong GPP plays, some high-end GPP plays. AJ Almandinger at 10-2 is widely known as one of the best road course racers in the circuit. He only has one top 10, surprisingly, in 3 races ran. He, kind of just comes in he substitutes in as this road course guy. He's going to be racing in the Xfinity race today. I think he's going to be a decent option. Talk about AJ Allmendinger a little bit.
I definitely like him. His Cup numbers aren't going to look as good, but if you look at his Xfinity, he's more of a ringer, and the way that they put a lot of these lineups together, like he didn't have the owner's points, so he'd always start down in like the 30 or 40 or so, sometimes dead last, and he could get like a hot knife through butter, just gets right up to the front of that field rather quickly. So against this competition, can he do that? Possibly, but I think he's a good patient driver. He's one that'll let the car come to him. So we talked about Xfinity. He was a Kahlua driver last year, and they brought those cars to the track. They did not have any practice. The setups were all wrong. The other drivers, went right out there and tried to race the car like it was a race car. He kind of felt it out, worked with his crew chief, got the car set up, and then towards the end of the race, was very successful because, they were able to figure out like what they needed to do with tires and wedge and balance and all that stuff to get the car to where it needed to be.
I agree. His patience and experience are going to pay off for him. Another guy that I really like in GBPs is Kyle Larson at 8,300. He's led 60 laps in the last 8 races. He has 3 top 10s as well. Driving for Rick Hendrick in the number 5 car. He's going to have some better equipment than he did at Chip Ganassi. I know there's the same affiliation in Chevrolet manufacturer, but I think Kyle Larson really sneaky here, starting 8th. He could actually get out and lead some laps. I think he's going to be one of the only ones other than Truex and Chase that can lead laps at a race like this. Maybe Blaney. I know there's that as well, but
Hamlin. We can't count him out.
I can't rule out Denny Hamlin, especially after what we've seen him do in the Clash. He is just a fast car always. Is Denny Hamlin never had a fast car? I just swear. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Kyle Larson? And is there anyone maybe around him in salary that you would want to play as well?
I definitely like Kyle Larson. Like you said, I think he's one that not afraid to go out and lead this race. This isn't like a plate race where people are going to like purposely hang in the back. But again, I think some of them are just going to go through the motions. Just for example, Kevin Harvick, I don't think this is his style or what he really likes. If he has some opportunity to get up front and do some stuff, but I think it's going to be keep the car clean and, get as many stage points or whatever we can and get onto these 1.5 mile tracks, which I actually love. But looking at the price range, Kurt Busch definitely really pops at 17. He's definitely been really good at road courses throughout his career. Not necessarily, I don't think he had like great success when they ran this one. I mean, he did okay in the Clash, but he's one that we previewed there because we just know he's a road course driver. He likes it, and he's aggressive, but he's smartly aggressive. He's not like Ricky Stenhouse, Ross Chastain aggressive.
Yeah.
I think TK and I both agree that we're giving Ross Chastain 5 laps before he's out.
Yeah. He got so lucky during that Daytona 500 to avoid those wrecks. And, I'm just tilting because I got like minimal Ross Chastain. And now everyone's going to be, I think Ross Chastain's a good play. And he's going to wreck out of a road course race, which is almost virtually impossible as long as you keep 4 wheels on the car. It's just going to happen now. I could see it and I'm going to avoid it.
Yes. So Busch starting 17th. I mean, I can even see him in cash. He's a solid play with upside. Briscoe right below him, the rookie, he did really well last year. I think he's run multiple road course races in Xfinity, but then again, this is not Xfinity. So good GPP speculation. He's around the same price range, but I think probably the best play if you're looking at the in the 8,000s, I don't think we talked about him yet, is Matty DiBenedetto.
No, I haven't.
Starting 32nd. So I think there's definitely a chance. Wood Brothers cars, decent equipment. It's affiliated with the Penske cars, which we have seen run well here, and they seem to work together. This is a plate race. You'd think there'd be some courtesy between those cars, but
I'm sure
all's fair in blood and road tracks.
Yeah. And, DiBenedetto's probably been a better teammate to most of those Penske drivers than actual Penske drivers. So I'm sure they have no problem helping them out. All right. Well, we've covered a wide range of drivers for this upcoming race. Is there anyone else you'd like to add to? Anyone else you see as a good play before we say farewell?
Did we talk about Chris Buescher? He's starting 30th.
No, we haven't. He's actually finished all 8 of his road course races inside the top 20. I like that.
Yeah, and then I think you have some of the sophomore Xfinity guys like Bell and Reddick that had road course experience from Xfinity and are still trying to. Maybe Custer too, but Bell and Custer are starting up in the top 15, so they might be a little risky. Stenhouse actually might not be that bad. I think he's kind of channeling his aggression.
Yeah.
Where he's learning to use it as an advantage and is not as reckless. So, he could be a dark horse again. Starting 16th, I'd like him better if he was back in like the 20s or 30s.
Yeah, I agree.
Not saying he's a cash lock by any means, but somebody that kind of piques my interest.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's a good amount of drivers listed, and I'm looking forward to this upcoming Cup Series race at the Daytona Road Course. Just wanted to give you guys a quick mention. We have hit 2,000 subscribers. I know at the end of our Xfinity video, we were wondering if we did. I guess we hit 2,000 while we were recording. So
Yes.
that was really cool to see. So big shout out to everyone, and thanks for listening. And as always, please like this video, comment below if you have any questions. And if you want any more premium content, you can find Mega Ruler 31 and Drew Barry's projections in our Discord channel. You can find that Discord at FSI_DFS. You can find that link. You can follow both of us. I am TK Nation 47. That is Mega Ruler 31. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the races for the weekend. Thanks, guys.
Good luck, everyone.